The Vordrax Imperium, a civilization forged in the raw might of colossal energy manipulation, saw power only in grand, visible displays. Their warships, shimmering bastions of pure energy, could sunder moons and part nebula. When they found the human mining colony on Asteroid 7, they saw a primitive, vulnerable target. From the bridge of the Vordrax flagship Omnikinetic, Imperator Xyler, a being of pure, contained energy visible through a crystalline shell, projected his image onto the crude, utilitarian command center of the human colony. His voice, a resonant hum that vibrated through the very floor, conveyed absolute certainty. Primitives, your crude drills mar this sector, encroaching upon Vordrax-designated energy harvesting zones. Your technology is inefficient. Your presence is an affront to optimal energy architecture. Withdraw or be purified by force. Dr. Anya Sharma, lead nanotech engineer for the Asteroid 7 colony, felt a cold knot in her stomach. She'd seen the Vordrax demonstrations, their ability to generate and control energy fields on a scale that defied human comprehension. Their shields weren't just energy, they were stable pockets of altered spacetime. Their weapons were concentrated stellar fusion bursts. Imperator, Anya projected back, her voice steady despite the tremor in her hands. Asteroid 7 is our home, built by our sweat and ingenuity. We are not leaving. Xyler's form pulsed with irritation, a blinding flash of contained power. Foolish, your ingenuity is a trivial spark before our furnace. Observe. On the view screen, a small, uninhabited moonlet within the sector pulsed with a faint glow. Xyler's flagship fired a single, silent beam. There was no explosion, no violent rupture. Instead, the moonlet simply shimmered, glowed white-hot from within, and then, in a terrifying display of controlled power, collapsed into a perfectly spherical, molten core, its gravitational field still stable. Such is the power of optimized energy, Xyler hummed. Your entire colony will be condensed into a single, inert sphere. You have 3 cycles to comply. The projection vanished, leaving Anya and her colony commander, Kalen Rourke, in grim silence. 3 cycles, Kalen muttered, staring at the molten moonlet. Their shields are impervious to anything we can throw at them. Their weapons, that wasn't a weapon, Anya. That was a asterisk demonstration asterisk of control. Anya nodded slowly, her mind racing. The Vordrax were masters of scale and precision, but only within their own, perfectly defined energy parameters. Their strength is their precise control of immense energy, Anya said, a dangerous glint entering her eyes. Their weakness is that they can't conceive of anything outside those parameters. They only see grand, visible energy. What if the threat isn't grand? What if it's tiny? Kalen stared at her. Tiny. Our mining lasers can't even scratch their paint. No, Kalen, not a scratch, a tickle, an irritation. A million tiny, perfectly tuned irritations. We're not going to fight their energy with more energy. We're going to fight their asterisk precision with noise. Anya pulled up schematics for their colony's ubiquitous self-replicating dust motes, microscopic constructs designed to clear atmospheric particulates. These aren't weapons, she explained, her fingers flying across the console. They're environmental cleanup, but we can modify their self-replication code. We can arm them not with lasers, but with parasitic energy harmonizers. They'll seek out the Vordrax's primary energy conduits, not to destroy them, but to introduce subtle, precisely calculated resonant frequencies. Feedback loops, microfluctuations, just enough to throw off their optimized energy architecture by a hair's breadth. Kalen grasped the concept. You want to destabilize their internal systems, make their perfect power grids glitch. Anya smiled, a grim, determined curve of her lips. Exactly. We'll turn their perfect, clean energy flow into a series of catastrophic brownouts. Their shields will start to flicker, their weapons will miscalibrate, and their ships will effectively become giant, self-destructing batteries. And they won't even see us coming. Over the next 3 cycles, while the Vordrax fleet gathered in high orbit, Imperator Xyler monitored the human colony. Their energy signatures remain insignificant, Xyler hummed to his tactical advisors. Their attempts at defense are negligible. They prepare for their inevitable transformation into inert matter. He observed the faint, almost imperceptible haze of dust around the human colony, dismissing it as atmospheric exhaust from their inefficient operations. Those were Anya's micronats, self-replicating, growing exponentially, preparing for deployment. On the final cycle, Xyler's voice vibrated through the human comms. Humans, your time is concluded. Prepare for purification. Commander Kalen Rourke met his gaze, a glint of defiance in his eyes. Imperator, we told you, we're not leaving, but you're welcome to try and make us. Xyler's form pulsed with a blinding flash of pure white energy. Foolish primitives. Commence full energy absorption. Target the human colony's core. As the Vordrax ships began to power their vast energy absorption beams, millions upon millions of Anya's micronats, now numbering in the trillions, swarmed towards the Vordrax fleet. They were too small to be properly registered by Vordrax combat sensors, which were calibrated for massive energy signatures. They were simply dust, but this dust was intelligent. It was hungry. And it carried a very specific, very annoying payload. On the bridge of the lead Vordrax warship, Executor Cathar's energy form pulsed with perfect efficiency. Energy absorption commencing. Initial readings within optimal parameters. Then, a flicker, barely perceptible, minor shield harmonic anomaly detected, recalibrating primary dampeners. Another flicker. A weapon conduit pulsed erratically. Weapon calibration variance. Autocorrecting. Cathar's internal processors, designed for absolute precision, were encountering 1,000 tiny, unresolvable errors. It felt like trying to conduct a perfect symphony while 1,000,000 mosquitoes buzzed, each on a slightly off-key frequency. Panic and emotion considered a fundamental inefficiency began to ripple through the Vordrax fleet. Ships that were supposed to be absorbing energy were now experiencing subtle internal resonance feedback. Their shields, designed to deflect immense force, began to collapse inward from internal pressure imbalances caused by the micronats. Weapon systems, meant for precise fusion bursts, were misfiring, overheating, or simply venting energy uselessly into space. Corruption? Xyler's thought resonated through the Vordrax network, raw and unmodulated, a scream of pure, logical breakdown. Their primitive dust, it is contaminating our energy streams. Our perfect harmony, it is dissolving into discord. Executor Cathar shrieked, his energy form convulsing. His ship, once a perfectly controlled extension of his will, was now a nightmare of internal chaos. Critical energy conduits fractured, not from external force, but from unpredictable, sympathetic vibrations introduced by the micronats. Its primary weapon flared, then imploded, not aiming at the human colony, but tearing through its own superstructure. It wasn't an explosion, but a series of catastrophic systemic failures, a giant machine unraveling from the inside. Imperator Xyler watched in horror from the omnikinetic. His perfectly efficient fleet, the embodiment of power and control, was shattering. Not from plasma fire, not from kinetic impacts, but from an invisible, insidious chaos that his species literally could not detect, let alone comprehend. It was like trying to clean a microscopic stain with a star-sized broom. The Vordrax, who understood only grand, clean energy, were being undone by the cumulative effect of a million tiny, dirty, utterly unpredictable irritations. "Withdraw!" Xyler shrieked, his form cracking, its silent hum shattering into discordant wails. "They are insignificant, effluvium. It is consuming our very methodology. Retreat from the contagion." Dr. Anya Sharma watched as the Vordrax fleet broke formation, their precise vectors dissolving into panicked, inefficient maneuvers as they fled, their once perfect energy systems now a chaotic mess. The residual micronats, their mission accomplished, began to self-deactivate, harmlessly dispersing into the void. "They ran," Kalen Rourke breathed, awe in his voice. "They ran from what they couldn't even see." Anya smiled, a tired but triumphant expression on her face. "They ran from what they couldn't control, Kalen. They ran from us." The Vordrax Imperium, after that harrowing retreat, never again threatened humanity with purification. The tale of the microswarm spread through the galaxy, a legend whispered from starport to starport. It was said that humans didn't fight wars, they simply made your perfect systems imperfect. Imperator Xyler, his perfect energy form fractured, initiated diplomatic contact. He had learned that human ingenuity wasn't about generating immense power, but about understanding the subtle, pervasive forces that could unravel even the most powerful of systems. It was a lesson that forced the Vordrax Imperium to fundamentally rethink their philosophy of power and control. Humanity, the masters of the tiny and the overlooked, had shown the galaxy that true strength lay not in visible might, but in the boundless creativity and unpredictable adaptability of a species that could turn a speck of dust into an unstoppable force.